Hello, it's Jason again, and welcome back in the same corner of my house. You guys will probably, if you look carefully, you can read all the titles of books on the shelves and know what I read in my quiet time. Hi, I'm happy to see you again. And congratulations, you're really, even with all the boring videos that I'm putting up on the internet for you, you're sticking with it. And you know, because of that, you're going to become a wonderful language model for your child. So we know, I mean, that's one thing that we know about teaching deaf and hard of hearing kids, raising deaf and hard of hearing kids, is either kids will learn language from you or not. And so because you're here, this is exciting for me. And you know, as we go along, we're going to be focusing first on communication, basic communication, but trying to kind of move the focus more on developing actual language. And I wanted to explain it's a little bit different. Communication is really important, and in your home, your family needs to be able to communicate with your child, so that has to be the first priority. And you can really develop that skill pretty quickly by going through these videos. However, communication doesn't always follow the rules of English or the rules for ASL, and so the communication we use might help us to survive, but over time we have to kind of transition away from communication only to more rule driven language. So I don't want you to feel pressured. We will kind of make this happen for you very gently and slowly, and it'll be in steps. But right now, focusing on communication is the most important thing. And then we're going to develop that communication and change it more into language. It's going to be awesome. Okay? So anyway, looking back at the videos, it's a little bit hard to watch myself, but I'm trying to be brave for all of you. I'm asking myself, why didn't I do this before I became bald, for example? But this is how it happened. So here I am. If the glare from the head is ever too much for you, please, comments again. You can let me know, and I'll, put on a hat, a fedora, or something cool. Or maybe a fez. That would be perfect. So anyway, okay, I'm kind of afraid. Sometimes I'm filming these and they get so silly that I get off track. I'm trying to focus back. Today, just a few things. We're going to try to keep it short today, but important. So, the first thing I noticed while I was looking back, and I'm kind of listing all the words that I've taught so far, was I did excited 2 times. So I didn't mean, I didn't want to emphasize that too much, but excited is a good word. So hopefully you learned that word even better than the others. Excited. And I missed a couple of words that I wanted to teach, so I'll kind of fill in just a couple of gaps now. So the first word that I wanted to show you today is kind of related to scared. We did scared, remember, or afraid? I just love this sign, and I'm hoping that I didn't miss it while I was watching the videos again. There's a lot to watch, right? But it's this sign. Okay, you're going to use your pointy fingers. Oh my gosh, my body's so crooked. Point your fingers down. Something like this. Okay, and then you move it back and forth like this. And you make a scared face like this. And it's like you're shaking in your boots. Okay? It means like shaking in your boots. It's like really scared, really nervous, okay? Just another variation of that sign that I thought was kind of fun. And when you couple it with the facial expression, awesome. Scared or shaking in boots. So I just wanted to add that one for fun. A really important sign that I forgot to add to the list was hurt. And this is a really flexible, really powerful sign that you need to know, especially if you're a parent raising a deaf and hard of hearing, or deaf and hard of hearing child, or deaf or hard of hearing child. This is going to be one of the most important words that you will learn. So the basic sign, let's work on this, is you're going to use, you see how easy these hand shapes are? You use the same hand shapes for many different signs. So you're just going to use your pointing fingers again, okay? And you're going to hold them pointing at each other, okay, like this. And there's a few different ways, but the basic one is going to be like this, okay? They make little circles like this towards each other. Hurt, hurt, right? Hurt. Let me turn to the side a little bit so you can see if I can mess up my camera again. But the sign, they're going in circles. My hand, it's kind of tricky to show. It's kind of scooping down as it moves toward my midline. It goes down and up, a circular motion like this. And the other hand, as it comes toward my midline again, same motion, but they're coming toward each other. Hurt. And they come pretty close. Hurt. Hurt. So this is a wonderful sign that you can ask, and then hopefully as communication develops, your child will tell you something hurts. It hurts. Now you can emphasize that sign and show that it's more painful. How? How would you do that? You twist it. If you twist your hand, so let's see, so this palm is out and the back of this hand is out. This is my right hand and this is my left hand, but it'll be the opposite if you are a left-handed person who's learning sign, okay? So my right hand is going to go with the back out. Let's see. Make sure I'm doing this right. Actually, my right hand's going to start with the palm facing out towards you. Okay, and my left hand will have the back of my hand out. And then with the fingertips kind of pointing at each other, I'm going to twist. My right hand's going to turn over and out. And this hand is going to do the opposite. It's turning with the back out first, and it's going to turn over and out. So you're doing them opposite each other. Hurt. Okay, this is for a really bad, really painful hurt. Do hurt or hurt, okay? Now here's what's cool. This sign is used for anything that hurts. And how do they modify it? You don't have to know how to sign something special for headache. You don't have to know a specific sign for sore throat. You use this sign for all of it. So this is a really flexible sign. Learning this one sign and using it well can help you communicate so many different things. So, for example, if I have a headache, I would sign here, headache, like I have a headache, in facial expression again, please. So you have to make sure that you don't go, I have a headache, because it's not good news. You want to, headache, if you have a headache, it hurts. Or you can sign like, oh, it's a really bad headache, it really hurts. Or you can do it your throat. If you have a sore throat, you can sign, oh, hurts. Or, okay? So you're showing the pain on your face, and then you're adding the sign too, and together that makes the clear communication that the kids need. So you can do headache, or who knows, maybe your nose hurts. Or your eye hurts, or you have an earache. This happens so often with children who are growing up. They have ear infections, and I mean, how many times have parents told me that they didn't know their child had an ear infection, it was hurting, and the child was complaining and crying, but they maybe didn't have the language to communicate it. So this is really important. So you want to say, you know, hurting, or if they fall down and they hurt their knee, you can sign that it's hurting on their knee, hurting. Okay, hurt, 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 hurt. You could even do for feelings. If you're talking about feelings, and someone comes up to you and says, you're bald and you're ugly, and oh, my heart, it hurts, you know, my heart is hurting, or my feelings are hurt, right? So that's a wonderful sign. It's very flexible, and I hope you use it, you know, both to communicate with your child. Like you notice, oh, you scratched yourself and that hurts. Okay. Or to ask questions. And we talked about, yes, no questions with your eyebrows going up. Here's a perfect example and a perfect opportunity to practice that. So you would say, are you hurt? Or if, maybe your child wakes up in the morning and their voice sounds different, it's rough, you can say, do you have a sore throat? Do you have a headache? Does your eye hurt if it's all glued shut? And does your eye hurt? So it's really easy to ask. The question is not, is your eye hurting? I mean, you can sign it that way. That's English. But for clear communication that you can change and develop into better ASL later, you want to ask with the sign and the facial expression only. Just that. So, is your eye hurting? Or is your throat hurting? Or is your stomach hurting? Is it hurting a lot? Okay. So, really, really flexible sign. When you're asking, you can maybe point like I'm talking to you. Does it hurt? Okay. Now, I'm realizing as I'm watching myself that I'm not following the rule that I'm trying to teach. So I have to think about that. Say, do you have hurt? I think that it's more clear when the eyebrows are up. I'll ask again. I'll consult with smart people I know. But so I'm signing it, my eyebrows are down, and really that's wrong. I should not be doing that. You'll see that, I'm a hearing person too. I'm not a native signer. And so sometimes I make mistakes too, and my language modeling is not perfect. But I think it'd be better if your eyebrows were up. So, is it hurting? Is it hurting? Is it hurting here? Is it hurting here? So, there's a habit for me to work on. I'll learn through this process with you too. So, better for eyebrows up, for yes, no. So, I think the facial expression generally is going to show the question. Good. So, is it hurting? Do you have a stomach ache? Okay. Also kind of the super frown. Does your stomach hurt? That's going to be hard for me. I'm gonna ask some deaf people and see what they say. But my eyebrows naturally they tend to go down, but I think the rules need to go up. So we'll work on that, and I'll explain more. I also promised you a while back that I would check and make sure my letter F with the fingers apart was correct. And I've asked and asked and asked all around, all the people I know, and they all agree that it's fine. So, I taught you the right way. I want to make sure. So, here's the F, fingers spread out. Okay, before we start A, B, C, adding some more letters for today, I'm going to do one more thing. I notice my house is getting darker. This is the afternoon, so hopefully it will not be pitch black by the time I finish. There was one more sign I wanted to show today, just to expose you to it. We're going to start a series of lessons that work on question words. Now, deaf and hard of hearing kids really, really, really struggle with question words. And part of the reason why is that conversation generally is hard for them. And maybe people at home sometimes don't have the skills to really converse, to ask questions and to answer and to model how that turn-taking works. So we're going to develop this a lot over the next few signs and really help you to develop a conversation with your child. But we're going to start with a really simple one today. It's who. Okay, so I want to show you. You guys already know how, because we practiced that one, and you know what. So we're adding to that now. We're adding the question word who. So here's what you're going to do. Make an L with your hand, and then you're going to put the thumb, let's see if I can turn this way and make it more clear. Put the thumb on your chin, and then you're going to pull the finger, the index finger, down 2 times. Okay, again, so look at my hand. These 3 fingers are down. This is an L. So again, that's another sneak preview. your ABCs. L, hand shape, thumb to the chin. Are your eyebrows going to go up or down? They're going to go down. Whoo. And the mouth is important too. It's getting very dark, so I'm going to disappear for a second and open the blinds a little bit. Okay, I think that's better. It's getting darker and darker as I'm talking. It's my cue to hurry up. So you're going to practice who. Okay, who. In the next video, we're going to talk about how you name people in your family. You'll be using your spelling, but also you're going to be coming up with name signs. I'm going to explain the rules about that. How you can name the brothers and sisters and mom and dad and aunts and uncles and cousins and all the people in the child's life. It's going to be awesome. Okay? To finish real fast, let me review just one more time to make sure that I've shown it clearly. Who, letter L on your hand, thumb to your chin, eyebrows down, and then who, and your mouth makes the circle, who. Okay, we're going to use that a lot. Let's add just a few letters before I take off and we're done. We did A, you guys remember? Facing out, palm out, about here. Not up here, not out here, not behind your back or under your chair, but out here. A, B, C, then we did D. Remember how all three of these fingers, how do I show? All the fingers except my pointy finger are touching the thumb. Okay, D. And the pointy finger sticking up, D. E. This is all the fingers here bent over and the thumb going across to touch. So it looks like this from the side. E. We did F. And I've confirmed that this is okay. F. G. What you're going to do is like you're going to pinch somebody. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Okay? Like it's St. Patrick's Day. There are two ways you can do a G. It almost looks like an L, only you bring the fingers together. So you can do a G like this. From the side it will look like this. A G. Or you can do a G with that same hand shape turned like this. Okay? So my pinky finger is down and my thumb and index finger are up. G. And I think I tend to sign G. It helps it be more clear from H, which is the next sign, H. G, H. Actually, G would be more clear. See, I don't know what I'm talking about. G or G, either one is fine. H is instead of one pointy finger, you use two pointy fingers. And it goes kind of out to the side like this, so that the back of your hand is toward the person. H. Right? H. And again, this is what it looks like from the other side. My thumb is on top of those two fingers, and these two fingers are together, not apart. And not like a gun, but off to the side. H. And the last letter today is going to be I. And what this is, all the fingers, these ones go down, kind of like the Y that I showed you before. Y. Now you're going to put your thumb across, and you have an I. Okay, thumb goes across those fingers, pinky finger up. Here's what it looks like from the side, from the front, from the other side. And again, just shoulder height out in front. Okay? So now you know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. And just to back up to make sure, G is the hard one, I think, of this group. So just like you're going to pinch something, like you're going to pick up a pen with my two fingers, okay? It's that same, almost like a bird. It's another sign you'll learn. G, with this part of my hand down, G. Or you can turn it like this, so that this part of my hand is down, G. And it's turned just slightly to my left. If you're left-handed, it'll be to your right. G. Or G. Pick the sign that is more comfortable for you. All right. So as day is starting to disappear and become night here, I think it's time for me to say goodbye. Hopefully the videos are continuing to be helpful for you. I'm going to advise you, please, if you can, to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. So much spelling, YouTube. Because that way, anytime I add a new video, you'll immediately be notified. That's a great thing. So, anyway, continue being awesome parents, and thank you again for making the time to come and learn sign language for your kids. Bye. See you next time.